Hi, today I want to talk to you about grief coaching. You might know or you might not know that I am also a certified grief coach. So first I want to tell you why I became a certified grief coach. So this was around 4 or 5 years ago, and we were going to have dinner with some family members. And on our way to their dinner, we met with a cousin. He was walking like really slow, really sad. And I asked him like, what's going on? And he said, I come from the saddest event ever. And we asked what happened. And he said, well, it was one of my friend's wife that she died during delivery. And he's now with a newborn baby and a toddler. And I was like, oh my God, and my heart shrank in that moment. I didn't know what to say. So that same week, I was looking into coaching courses. So I was sure I wanted to become a health and life coach. And then I came up with this grief coaching course, and I looked what it was about, and I said, perfect. Something struck, and I said, I want to do it. So I enrolled. And then a couple of days later, I was having dinner with two of my university friends, and I was telling them all about my career shift. I was coming from corporate marketing. I just had moved into the city. And I told them, well, I just enrolled into a grief coaching course. And they were like, what? Into a grief coaching? Like, why would you like to listen to all the sadness, people crying, and all this energy, dense and negative, and like really uncomfortable space? And I just told them, like, because I can. I feel I'm emotionally and mentally strong enough to do this. Plus, I believe that when you're in deep grief, you need a lot of support. And there's no support. Like, we've never been taught in school, in our family, in our values. Nobody's taught about what to do when a family member, when a friend passes. And it happens, but we've never been taught how to deal with our emotions, with our feelings. So if there's a training for it and I can help, why wouldn't I do it, right? So I enrolled in this course and I became a grief coach. Now I want to tell you what a grief coach does. So there are two main things that a grief coach does. First of all, imagine that your emotions, like you're a container. So in that container, you have a lot of grief and you have all the feelings that surround grief, like sadness, frustration, regret, unhappiness. And it's just that what you have inside. So in order to move forward, you have to empty the container and put something else inside. And you can't just empty it, because if you don't put anything inside, then grief is going to come back. So what we do as grief coaches, we help you take up the grief, replace it with gratitude, make sure gratitude stays, and so you can move forward with your life. Because you can't have both feelings. You can't feel grief, you can't feel gratitude at the same time. You can't be happy, you can't be sad at the same time, right? So it's a container. We take out grief, we put in gratitude and make sure it stays. That's the first thing. Now, what's the second thing? The second thing we do is help you overgrow your grief. Because grief is always going to be there. You're always going to feel the love you had for your loved one. Like, all the feelings of grief are going to be there. So imagine like grief is this size. And when you're in grief, imagine that you're just a little ball inside this, like a little dot inside this ball of grief. So you feel very small. Everything around you, your whole world, everything is grief. So what we do as grief coaches is help you become from that dot, overgrow your grief. So the grief stays. It's always going to be the same size. Grief will not disappear, but you're going to overgrow it. When you overgrow it, you start seeing the world from a different perspective. And you can start moving forward with your own life. Because at the end of the day, it's your responsibility, right? I found that there are two most common feelings for not wanting to move forward. First of all, it's regret. The thoughts of I should have, I would have, I could have. And when you have these feelings, these thoughts, these emotions, it's very difficult to move forward because you just want, all you're thinking is, if I can move to the past and make it better, then this would not have happened. Or the second most common feeling for not wanting to move forward is feeling bad for living your own life without your loved one. And this especially happens when it's your spouse. So why would I go out to this dinner alone? What would this person think? What was this person feel? Like I'm betraying him. I'm not being honest. So you don't want to continue with your life. You don't want to have happy moments because you feel bad because if you're feeling good without that person. I don't know if this has happened to you, but these are the two most common things that I've found. So what happens after grief coaching? So the first thing is having a space for grief. So remember that before you were a dot and you were surrounded by grief. So now you're going to overgrow your grief. And by overgrowing your grief, you're going to have special moments for grief. And the rest of the moments, you dedicate it to continuing with your life. What else happens? We help you replace some of your routines. Some of the things you used to do together. We help you come up with new activities, new routines, new things that you can do. We also help you adopt new habits because you had to leave some habits behind. Now you're going to gain new habits so you can move forward. And that was the grief coaching. And why this video at this moment? Well, I think that Christmas time is the most difficult time for somebody that is in grief, because especially if it's your first year, because it's family time, it's happy moments, it's sharing, and the first Christmas can be really hard. So I wanted to post this video before Christmas in this period, because if you or if somebody you know are in grief, this is a really good resource, a really good help that you can offer them. You can show them forward this video because it will be a really good help. If you know anybody that would benefit from listening to this video, feel free to forward it. And happy holidays. Thank you for listening. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Lorna Cooper Coach.